We're going to look at example 4A and B in our section 2.3 notes. The bottom line with this problem is that we want to be able to cancel the sine inverse and the sine, but we have a restriction on the value of x. So x in this case is going to be the angle, and to be able to cancel, all we have to make sure is that the x is between negative pi over 2 to pi over 2, or if you think about it in terms of quadrant 1 and 4, so that we can cancel the sine inverse with the sine. So in this first case, we look at sine inverse and sine, and pi over 10 is definitely an angle that's in quadrant 1, so we can go ahead and cancel, and we get an answer of pi over 10. Okay. Now in part B, we have a problem. Pi over 2 pi over 3 rather, is not an angle in quadrant 1 and 4. In fact, it's an angle in quadrant 2. Okay, so we need to see if there's an angle similar in quadrant 1 or 4 to this quadrant 2 angle. So we first need to think about the sine function. So in quadrant 2, the sine function is positive. Okay, so that tells us that we need a quadrant 1 angle, because quadrant 1 is also where the sine is positive. Okay, so similar to 2 pi over 3 in quadrant 1, if we think about the reference angle, we come to the conclusion that we should be using pi over 3. That it will give us the same answer for the sine as 2 pi over 3. And pi over 3 meets our conditions. It is a value between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. So now we can cancel, and that leaves us with an answer of pi over 3, which is in quadrant 1.